Arrest Netanyahu for war crimes. Everybody knows this is the right thing to do. You know this is the right thing to do. Even if in your mind you say, oh, not going to happen, or if you actually object to it in your mind, or what you call your mind, you know it's true that he should be arrested for war crimes. Now, it's not going to happen, it's realistic, but let's just go over why some people might object. So if you object to the idea that not Netanyahu should be arrested for war crimes, I'm certain that part of your reasoning for that is October 7th and Hamas. So what if the people responsible for October 7th, maybe it was Hamas, were arrested for war crimes? Would that be bad or would that be good? So what if Netanyahu was arrested for war crimes? Because we know for a fact that Netanyahu has committed war crimes since October 7th. We've seen lots of war crimes that Netanyahu has committed. So he should be arrested. And yet, in our minds, we are trained to think that people at the bottom, anything can happen to them, and whatever happens to them is fine or whatever, but we don't expect or accept anything to happen to people at the top. We do expect and accept anything to happen to people at the bottom, and don't expect or accept, or we don't expect, and their supporters don't accept anything to happen to people at the top. But what if we just reverse that and make sure that only people at the top go first to jail or whatever consequences for terrible actions there are? People at the bottom can wait. The millions of people at the bottom who, would face justice can wait for their justice. We can just deal with them running around in our neighborhoods until we get the people at the top. Because when we get the people at the top and they actually face justice, an interesting comparison. Sam Bankman-Fried, who stole from rich people, got 25 years in prison and got those years pretty quickly. But Trump, who steals from a lot of poor people, still running around stealing from them every day. And stealing from all of us again when the captured judges reduce his fines or whatever, when they allow him to grift some more money out of Russia to pay his fines, and doesn't even have to pay all of them. But we've gotten too accustomed to nothing happening to people at the top until people take actions into their own hands and drastic things happen to people at the top. So that can happen to Netanyahu if they can't do the more favorable and do him a favor of getting him safely into a jail or prison for his crimes in a orderly fashion. But we all know that that's what justice demands, that people who cause genocides and murder that many people have to be stopped one way or another. If you're not going to cut off their funds, if you're not going to stop them with a tribunal or something, some sort of authoritarian, world government type thing, UN or whatever it is, International Criminal Court, individuals will end up stopping them ultimately, because that's what the world needs, a hero, not a villain. And a hero will stop a villain in the end.